have rights tomorrow. So I'm going to bed. Alright, guys, it's time to go to bed. None of us are stressed about the election, right?
To the young people who are watching, it is okay to feel sad and disappointed.
I hate to be the person that gets on here and cries. But this this
Donald Trump has won the election. Do you think that now the Democrats will go back, see what they've done wrong, see where the disconnect between the American people and the Democrat Party is, and fix those problems? Do you think that that's what they will do? I don't have any hopes that that's what they will do. If you listen to Kamala Harris's concession speech, if you read between the lines, I'm going to show you how many times she said the word fight.
And as long as we keep fighting, a fight is a fight. The fight, and the fight, when we fight, we win. Sometimes the fight takes a while. To fight for.
She repeated it again, and again. I don't know if that's a response to what Trump did when he said fight, fight, fight. You have to think that everything Kamala Harris says, and especially in the concession speech, that speech has been written maybe days ago, maybe. They knew they were going to lose. So probably that speech has been written a long time ago. Everything in that speech is extremely calculated. What I heard in that speech is we will not change course. What I heard in that speech is we will continue to do exactly what we were doing. This was just this was just a fork in the road. This was just a bump that is just going to slow us down 4 years. But we are going to continue to do exactly the same thing. In Tucker Carlson, I don't remember the guy's name, but I saw this, where he said that if Trump wins, half of the population is going to basically have a mental fit about Trump winning, and that he said something along the lines that mental health will decline in America if Trump wins.
I think it will be the cause of the greatest mental health crisis in the history of the country. I think tens of millions of people will question their connection to the nation, their connection to other human beings, their connection to their vision of what their future for them and their children could be like. And I think that will be require an enormous amount of access to mental health professionals. I think it'll lead to trauma in the workplace. I think there'll be some degree of
Are you being
protest. 100% serious. 100% serious. I think there'll be alcoholism. There'll be broken marriages. There'll be
What?
Yeah. They think he's the worst person possible to be president, and having won by the hand of Jim Comey and Fluke in 2016, and then performed in office for 4 years and denied who won the election last time, and January 6th, the fact that under a fair election, America chose by the rules pre-agreed to Donald Trump again, I think it will cause the biggest mental health crisis in the history of America.
TikTok is running amok right now with many people just crying their hearts out, saying that, oh, democracy has ended, Hitler is in power, women are not going to be able to control their bodies, and this is going to become the Handmaid's Tale really, really quickly. And if that is true, and a lot of American people, half of the American people, maybe not half, but we could say 40% of the American people are going to have a mental breakdown right now, and they're not going to be able to cope with life because Hitler has won and the fascists are in power and all of that nonsense. That is the fault of the Democratic Party saying again and again, repeatedly, scaring people into thinking that if Trump becomes the new president, which he has, he will become a fascist. He will become a totalitarian dictator that is going to rob the freedoms of the American people. You and me don't believe that. And most of the people who will probably watch this video don't believe that that's true. But think about it. If you do believe it, if you do believe that Trump is going to become the next Hitler, if you do believe that Trump is going to become a dictator, you are shitting your pants right now. You are really scared. You're having a mental breakdown. You're thinking literally that democracy will end in the United States because Trump became the new president, because Trump became the 47th president of the United States. Now think about that for a second. The Democratic Party is toying with the emotions of the people that vote for them. They're making them scared, and they're making them afraid of what will happen now. The Democratic Party were saying that they were scared that Donald Trump will not accept the resolution of the elections and that violence will erupt if Kamala Harris wins. I can't help but think that her speech is, because that's what I was hearing from her concession speech, is fight, like we want. She didn't say it. Of course, okay, she didn't say anywhere in the speech, I want you to go out and fight, or I want you to protest, or things like that. But read between the lines. Fight, we still have light, they won't defeat us. It was along those lines. And I would not be surprised if leftist organizations will start to organize protests. Now, I don't know if that will happen, and I hope it doesn't happen, but it just begs the question. When you have a country where roughly 50% of its population is pitted against the other 50%, and if neither side can accept that maybe they're wrong, I will point my fingers here, and I'm sorry, I said neither side, but it's the Democratic Party. They've done something wrong. The American people have spoken, and they've said, we do not agree with you. We don't want men demonized again and again. We don't want to pay for illegal immigrants to have their transgender surgeries. We don't want illegal immigration to run completely out of control. They've just basically said, no, we don't agree with you, Democratic, but we don't agree with what you're selling us. You're trying to sell us something, we don't buy it. Maybe we're not in favor of everything that Trump says, everything that he did, but we've had Trump for 4 years, and the country was a million times better than it is now. There was no wars with Trump. There's like, the world is falling apart with the Democratic Party. So the American people said, no, we don't agree with what you're trying to sell us. But that's the thing. Half of the country, it's against the other half. And that's a really scary situation. When you cannot see that maybe your side of the aisle are committing grave mistakes, dangerous mistakes, they're treading on thin ice on what they're trying to do. When you just defend them like it's a religion, and they know that you're going to defend them because they know they sold you the religion, and that you will continue to defend them no matter what they say, no matter what they do, because they're on the right side of history. They're doing the right thing. And you've probably heard this before, but there has been many more people killed because of good intentions than anything else in world's history. And that's what I see the Democratic Party turning into. Empty promises that mean nothing but sound good, sound benevolent, sound good-hearted. Either they cannot be achieved, or they're outright insane, like what's happening with the transgender ideologues right now. That's where I see a big, massive problem in the future. And we've got now 4 years of Trump. Great. He can try to fix many things. He can try to fix the economy, foreign policy, inflation. He can try to make the country rise up from its ashes that the Democratic Party just destroyed the country in 4 years. Now, Trump is going to try to fix all that. If you have the Democratic voters not being able to even remotely accept that the country was much better under the rule of Donald Trump, when you have the Democrat Party voters not even coming to terms that Biden's presidency destroyed America, when you have them just mindlessly saying orange man bad, Hitler bad, fascist bad, Democratic Party angel that just came down from heaven to save everyone, then I do not see how this problem of the, we could say culture wars, but I don't even want to name it that. I don't see how this problem, which is a massive problem in society, where half of the society cannot see the dangers, cannot see the mistakes of the side that they support. I cannot see how this will be fixed. Like I said, we've got 4 years of Trump, which is great. He's going to try to fix many things that the Democratic Party destroyed. But what happens next? What I hope that happens next is that a lot of this, for the Democratic Party, a lot of this nonsense that's going on, I hope that they're able to see in the next 4 years, under the leadership of Donald Trump, that America becomes better, that the economy improves, that foreign policy improves, that just things improve overall. And I hope that many of them change their mind in the next 4 years. When a Democratic Party leader comes along that has sensible policies that sound, or not that sound better than whatever the Republicans are saying, that on paper, that legitimately and empirically are better policies than whatever the Republicans are doing, I will support that Democratic leader all day long. When RFK Jr. said he was running for president, I was going to give my support for him. I liked what he was saying, and I thought he has my support. If this guy is running for president and if he really has a chance, he has my support. And now he's supporting Donald Trump. RF Kennedy Jr. is supporting Donald Trump and is working with Donald Trump. That said to me, okay, then I support Donald Trump. Because what I really hope is after this 4 years, a lot of people just open their eyes and see all the lies that they've been fed from the Democrats. I don't think 4 years is long enough, because the left, and it's not even the left, it's the extreme left, it's the communists, it's the people that want to harm the country that they belong to, the country that gives them a chance to move forward, move up in life. They want to destroy that because they think that, they believe that that country is inherently evil and bad because they've been fed lies for 40 or 50 years. Now, I was going to say some young people will open their eyes with time. I'm going to say I was a leftist when I was young. When I was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I used to be on the left also, but then I grew up and I grew out of it. It's that saying, if you're young and you're not on the left, you don't have a heart. And if you are old and you're not on the right, you don't have a brain. I don't think 4 years is long enough for these kids to grow up and see the errors of their ways. All this blue-head, crazy people, and I'm not gonna say women, I'm gonna include men in that. They will see the errors of the ways. They will grow out of it. But I don't know if 4 years is long enough. We're so lucky that we have a lot of people doing the work to educate the new generations, saying to men, look, you're not evil, you're not bad. We have many, many people doing the work. Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, Dennis Prager, the guys from Redacted, giving truthful news. So there's a lot of people that have woken up and that are now trying to steer the young people into some form of common sense. But this takes time. And if you hear Yuri Bezmenov's interview about how to demoralize a society, and he's got a lot of points there. He says it takes years to steer the society back into common sense. It's not a 4-year thing. It might take 10, 15, or 20 years to make the people patriotic again, to make the people want to defend, support, and have the back of the country that makes their way of life possible, that makes their freedom possible. It's not a 4-year thing. It might take 10, 15, or 20 years. Now, I've heard Patrick Bet-Davis said the other day that we have the chance of that happening with J.D. Vance, that we have the chance now with Donald Trump in power for the next 4 years, that people see how much better it is with Trump than with the Democrats, and that will continue. And because it's Trump's last term, that will continue with J.D. Vance. I really hope that Patrick Bet-Davis is correct there. If that ends up happening, and we now have 4 years of Trump, followed by 8 years of J.D. Vance, meanwhile, the Democratic Party seems fixated on all the wrong things, on demonizing men, demonizing women that want to have kids, women that want to be able to be stay-at-home mothers, that they are fixating on transgender nonsense. Now, I don't care if you want to be transgender. I'm talking about going after kids. If they keep fixating on race and just saying that race is the end-all be-all of America's problems, then maybe we have a chance. If they keep fixating on that, while Trump's administration, followed by J.D. Vance's administration, focus on the real problems of the American people, on the real issues and the real worries, the aspirations and the dreams of the American people, then maybe we have a chance, because people will vote for J.D. Vance after 4 years when Trump finishes his term. That ends up happening. And all these people continue to do the amazing work that they're doing. What if Old Hist, Charlie Kirk, there's many of them. And they keep steering people back into common sense. Academy of Ideas, Pursuit of Wonder. Those are the name of the channels. There's just a few. But my worry is that the Democrat Party now wakes up and sees what they have to do, and sees that not going to podcasts was a mistake. Not Joe Rogan interview Kamala Harris on his terms because it's his podcast. If they change course and they try to mask again the lies. Now, again, if a Democrat leader comes along that it's sensible, reasonable, and that their policies empirically make sense, I will be in full support of them. But if they sneakily, I don't know if that's a word, but if they sneakily change course, if they start appearing to be worried about the needs, dreams, aspirations, hopes of the American working class, of the American people, and they lie, change course, then get in power and go back to the same old, then we have a problem. Now, that's just what I think is going to happen in those possibilities. Those two possibilities could happen in the next 4 to 8 years, 12 years. Let's see what happens. For now, I'm so stoked that Trump won. You can see there my wife already put up the Christmas tree. Now, the best Christmas present that the world could get was that Trump became the 47th president of the United States. Yeah, it's been an amazing 3 days. And yeah, that was just my thoughts on the future. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And like always, see you in the next one.